Clorox is dealing with a controversy after an odd tweet, one many consider racist, following the release of racially diverse emojis. The company tweeted out this picture with the text, "New emojis are all right, but where's the bleach?" Leading some to ask whether they meant the new emojis should be bleached white. So what goes into seemingly bizarre marketing moves like this? Alex Bruell is from Advertising Age. She joins us here. Alex, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What did you think of this?
I thought it was bizarre. I thought it was yet another brand moving really quickly, trying to attach itself to a current event of some sort, a high-profile launch, a high-profile event, and doing so without taking the context of that event or that launch into consideration.
I could see why some people would consider this offensive. I don't understand at all why they would even say this to begin with.
That makes two of us. And we see this often. You know, we see brands trying to just, no matter what it is, put themselves out there by creating content that's associated with some other high-profile event.
And how much thought goes into this? How much control is there? Who's sending these tweets out? I know it might be different with each company, but some obviously contract out other companies to do this.
It's true, and every company does it differently. Some companies bring people in-house, and they have a lot of oversight. You know, there's a lot of oversight. There are a lot of layers of approval, and some brands use agencies to create content and push that content out. And oftentimes, you know, be it in-house or at the agency, there are junior level staffers creating and pushing content out. And so that's where you're doing it quickly and you're junior and you might not have a lot of oversight or layers of approval when you're doing real-time or close to real-time content.
This, though, of course, is not the first time that a company has sent a tweet or made some other posting that seemed to be at not the right time, in not the right context, in not the right words. DiGiorno did the hashtag Why I Stayed in the wake of the Ray Rice scandal. Naming another one here, Kenneth Cole did the post about why do we keep seeing this? I mean, is this inevitable?
It shouldn't be. I think we've put too much faith in people, to be honest. I mean, in the past, marketers and brands have had a lot of time to strategize, measure, think, test, and you know, push out content through be it TV, broadcast, and even, you know, online. And, you know, now that more marketers are pushing out content really quickly and trying to stay on top of, you know, the conversation and break through the clutter, people are just messing up, and there's not as much approval there. You know, again, there's not as much oversight. And when that happens, you know, we see that bad judgment shine through.
There are cases, though, where it may be intentional. We talked about the Hostess example. This is a different example because it is not racially offensive to someone, but it's a blatantly incorrect statement about sports, right? So they released this image about baseball season and said, touchdown.
Yes.
There's no way this gets out there with someone realizing that they're making a mistake. They're trying to start a conversation.
And their response was, this was not a mistake. We are trying to start a conversation. And so we see things like this all the time where you've got, you know, and a lot of these things are humor-based. Humor is, you know, the goal here, and not everyone has the same sense of humor. And so, you know, they were trying to do something that would get attention, and they succeeded. I don't think, maybe they didn't realize that serious sports fans would just see that, be confused, and consider that they had made a mistake.
If you're sitting in one of these strategy rooms with one of these companies and they're meeting with their social media folks, whether they're in-house or out of house, what are you telling them right now to potentially avoid these mistakes, if they even want to avoid these mistakes?
Sure. You know, I would say if you are planning on attaching your brand to a current event, you know, you're in the newsroom and you're trying to stay on top of what's latest, what's in the news, and how, you know, you want your brand to be part of that conversation. If it's a controversial conversation, then you need to think really long and hard about why it matters that your brand is attached to that, and then you need to ensure that you've got the right structure in place so that you've got the right levels and layers of approval. Oreo is a really good example of doing this well. So we had, it's
Dunk in the dark.
Dunk in the dark. It's, that famous piece of content that really broke through the clutter during the Super Bowl blackout. And it was positive, it was fun, and it happened really quickly. And the reason it happened really quickly is because, the brand, its agency, and, all of the people that needed to make, those kinds of decisions in real time were together. And that's what really needs to happen.
Salvation Army also, after the black and blue or white and gold dress came out with what was seemingly a pretty effective campaign.
It was, and that's a really good example of a brand that said, here's a viral social conversation. Let's take that and create, our own message and make a very serious and important point. So what they did was they took something that was fun and lighthearted, and everywhere, and they used it to tell a very important story, and it's a story that needed to be told. So that's one way to do it. And then if you look at that, and then you look at brands who start by saying, well, here's a hot button topic or issue, let's take that and make it fun. That's where brands tend to get into trouble.
And I think the bet would be that whether they do it right or wrong in this day and age, companies are going to keep trying. Alex Bruell, thank you very much.
Thank you.